Education Sector International ESTV. It is good to know you are out there. Good afternoon to you all. And I'd like to welcome you to another episode of One Citizen of Greater Values. And today, I have with me a sister who is a captain in the global education sector. She is well respected and known for what she does. She keeps flourishing with her choice of business, and I am referring to this simple and easygoing woman, Mrs. Obaro of Maple Education Canadian Incorporation. Welcome, my sister.
Thank you very much for welcoming me.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we just start in a beautiful manner? If I can remember, you've been in this business for well over 2.5 decades, 25 years, and you keep flourishing, doing beautifully well. I would like to know, what values do you create to the society, and how unique is your values that keeps you going?
I think I'll start by correcting you that we've been in existence for about 21 years.
21 years,
This year.
Okay.
We started as a Maple Education Canada, a Canadian company that is based in a small town of Fort St. John in British Columbia. And Maple Education Canada has affiliation with over 65 Canadian institutions. And so coming back to Nigeria to start promoting or recruiting Nigerian students into Canadian institutions was a big difficult, because at that time Canada was not the destination for Nigerian students. So what you see today resulted in a lot of hard work on our part, and also changes in policies for the Canadian government. Our values are quite a lot. As a business owner, one thing is for sure: you have to provide quality service. You have to be diligent, conscientious, and you have to ensure that people trust you, believe in you. And in this line of business, over time, we've had so many fake agents and people promising to get people overseas to go and study. And
Which is a key aspect of it.
yes, so at the end of the day, you find that they are not honest about it. So we have consistently provided quality service in a conscientious, diligent, and efficient manner. So our business went from just recruiting students to now help them to process their study permit, and then even parents as well to get their visas to go and visit their children. And for one to be able to do that, I had to be certified as a Canadian immigration consultant, which means that we are regulated by our governing body, College of Immigration Citizenship Canada, to ensure that we are accountable to our clients. So the government of Canada wants to ensure that immigration consultants deliver quality service and are truthful in advising foreign nationals to ensure that they get their visas. So I would say that having been in this country for so long and providing the service that we're providing, our success has been because we are like a one-stop shop. Not only are we getting admission, we're also getting visas for students, we are getting visas for their parents to go and visit them, we are helping students to get permanent resident visa if they so wish. So we are like a one-stop shop for Nigerian students who would like to go and study in Canada. The beauty also is that we have 4 certified Canadian immigration consultants in our company. In Canada, and here in Nigeria.
Along the line?
Yes, not only are we helping students in Nigeria, we are also helping them in Canada, so that when they get there and they want to either extend their study permit or they want to become permanent residents or get their work permit, we can provide all those services at very discounted fees.
Okay, beautiful. I don't want to believe all seems easy or easier the way you speak. What are the challenges you've encountered over the years?
It's a very, very good question. Because we are dealing the two countries. We are also dealing with foreign exchange. We've encountered problems with policies from these governments, Nigerian government, Canadian government.
Okay.
So when we,
Let's start from the Nigerian side. What are the challenges?
okay, from the Nigerian side, the challenges we have faced over the years, one is exchange rate.
Okay.
Naira, when I started this business, it was about 65 naira to a Canadian dollar.
Several years back.
Yes, about 22 years ago when I first came back from Canada. And with time, it kept increasing until each time it went up, there was a decline in the number of students who want to go and study in Canada, not only Canada.
The exchange rate.
The exchange rate makes the cost of international education high. It's not that the tuition has increased, but the naira is like right now, the cost of studying abroad has more than tripled because of the exchange rate.
So if you are not ready, you don't go into it?
No, you have to be very, very, very careful because you don't want to send your child abroad and at the end of the year so you can continue paying fees. So you have to look at the whole process, the number of years that it's going to take. So exchange rate is one. And then the foreign exchange policy in Nigeria where people don't have access to the dollars. You know,
They buy from the black market.
they buy from the black market. Even when they could go to central bank and then bid for foreign exchange at government rate. You find that a lot of parents are not even able to get that rate. But now,
Why?
they just make life difficult. It's just so difficult because the dollar is not there. The banks don't even, well, that's what they say, don't have as much dollars as people are requesting for. And now that the exchange, the black market and the official rate, they are almost at par. So there's no advantage.
Going through the banks.
Yeah, no, there's not much advantage anymore. So almost about the same thing. So that's always been the challenges that we are facing.
Okay.
Foreign exchange availability and the economy in Nigeria. The economy affects us. If the economy is booming, we find more students studying abroad. If the cost of living is high like it is right now, the cost of living is so high that parents are beginning to think twice about sending their children to go and study abroad.
Yes, my sister, if I may ask you candidly,
Yes.
why do you have to send your children to go and school abroad? Most especially for their tertiary education. Looking at the volume of private and public universities that we have in Nigeria, why?
Okay, let me look at it from the eyes of the parents.
Okay.
My family migrated to Canada 27 years ago, 5 children. At that time, one would think that, well, Nigeria was okay, why would you want to send your child out there? Well, we thought about it. And having studied abroad ourselves,
Okay, you were products of international education.
yes,
Okay.
I studied in England with River State Government Scholarship. Even at that time.
Wow.
Yes, I had a scholarship in secondary school, and then I got a scholarship to go to college in England. So I had that exposure. And then when I came back to Nigeria to work, people always commented about the way I worked. And I was just busy doing my work. And they would say, well, where did you go to school? I tell them, they say, no wonder. And I said, why? Why are you saying that? Because I didn't see anything in what I was doing.
There was a huge difference the way a British train will work and the way a Nigerian graduate will work.
I didn't know that because I was just.
I'm asking you.
Like I was just being myself, doing my work, focused in what I was doing. And you say it's your father's business. Why are you working as if it's your father's business? So I found out that very strange, you know. But looking at the way things are today, a lot of parents who send their children to study abroad is not because they can't study in Nigeria. Because I believe that primary school in Nigeria is great. Secondary school is also great. Universities, I mean, And students do very well when they leave this country and go and study graduate programs abroad. That means that our universities are not doing badly. But parents would like to send their kids abroad because one, they're looking at the quality of life they would have when they finish.
The quality of life.
Job opportunities, quality of life.
And we all want the best for our children.
Yeah, we want the best for our children. We don't want to train our children at the end of the day when they graduate, they are roaming the streets looking for work. And finally, when they get a job, maybe their income probably, let me convert dollars to naira. Let me see, say 300,000 if you are lucky to even earn $300,000
To get a good job.
To a fairly good
Maybe
job.
in the banking sector or in the oil and gas sector.
Oil and gas workers earn more than 300,000 naira. On the average, generally, let's say you get a good job, fairly good job, not entry level. Entry level in Nigeria is about 150 thousand naira
For a graduate.
which is about 150 Canadian dollars.
So the
month. So that's pretty low, but I don't want to compare the cost of living because there are different countries. But then you find that our graduates in Canada are living a better life. We have opportunities to buy properties without having to pay cash down. You can buy a car and pay supplementally. They have electricity, they have everything. You can be very comfortable. I'm not saying that it's that easy, but you have to work at it. You can't say, oh, I'm graduated, so everything is going to fall on my laps. No, you have to go look for work.
So that quality of life is the essence.
Quality of life, security of the country where they are. I don't know there is security or insecurity all over the world, but Canada is a very, very safe country compared to other places. So
Okay,
students are very comfortable, very safe.
Okay. Now let me ask you, we've just spoken about the Nigerian challenges side. What about the Canadian challenges you face?
All right. The Canadian challenges, like I started this business over 20 years ago, and when we started, I was told by one of the officers at the Canadian Deputy Commission at that time that they had only 500 Nigerian students in Canada.
As at when?
As at 2 years ago.
22 years ago.
So that tells you that Nigeria was not a focus. Canada was not a focus for Nigerian students, and the Canadian government wasn't doing much in terms of education fairs to promote Canadian education in Nigeria. But when we came here and started promoting Canadian education, we saw the interest. I was shocked myself that wow, people are really interested in going to Canada because that was the first time that someone came and started advertising Canadian education and
showing them the route.
Yeah, even the Canadian Deputy Commission, they were very, very supportive because they were like, we wanted to promote Canadian education in Nigeria, but we didn't know how. So for them, this was an opportunity that they seized the opportunity, supported us in all our seminars and all our events. And Nigerians, we have the population. Yes. And as more and more Nigerians started going to study in Canada, parents started seeing the changes in their children and how they had grown and improved and became independent and could make decisions for themselves. So that increased the number of Nigerian students going to Canada. And as more students started going to Canada, more parents also go to visit. And siblings also go and visit their children. And with time, we started having more and more students going to study in Canada from all over the world. The Canadian government also brought in policies that made it easier for international students to stay back and work. But when we started, we didn't have those kind of policies where even if you don't have a job offer, you can apply for post-graduation work permit, you can work while you study anywhere. It doesn't have to be on campus. So all those policy changes now make Canada very, very attractive. And we also have the different programs that students could use to apply for permanent residence. You can sponsor your parents, your grandparents to become permanent residents. All those opportunities make Canada a very very strong destination for international students. So with more students coming, definitely they are going to have some challenges. And recently we had the challenges where way more students than the colleges could accommodate. Okay, all over the world, India, China, Nigeria,
So from the Nigerians, like from the Nigerian side, like how many students do you now have in Canada going to Maple?
oh, that's a difficult one.
You've lost count.
Well, as more and more students started going to Canada, I mean, we noticed at the point that we were responsible for 25% of the number of Nigerian students that arrived in Canada.
Nigeria.
That was some years back. But now, I mean, more and more people are going. So,
Despite the exchange rate, as we discussed earlier, more and more people are going, despite the exchange rate.
in fact, if not for the exchange rate, they will be seeing way more. But despite the exchange rate, before this present government, our numbers really went up. But after this new government came in, and you know what happened? It just brought down the number. I have to be honest here. The numbers went down drastically, and I mean, there's a reason why, and it makes a lot of sense for the numbers to go down. And like I said before, the challenges for Canada was having to accommodate that many students. Universities and colleges struggled. They had to partner with private schools in order to accommodate these children, these students, and then housing also became a problem. So accommodation became a problem, and some students couldn't find a place to stay. So for those reasons, they've now given a cap for the number of students that will be allowed to come to Canada in the next two years.
Okay, how recent was this?
Oh, this cap was this year.
Okay,
Yes,
it's a new development.
It's a new development. Like February or so this year, came up with this announcement, and then we can see that we can see from the visa processing that the numbers are definitely going to
It's okay, madam. Even from your smile, I can see it says a lot. Now, let me ask you, what has been the testimony of our students, maybe the ones that have graduated some years back, and some of them that are just coming? What has been their testimonies?
I think maybe I'll start with their challenges. Then,
Okay,
then I'll end up
with their
with their
testimonies.
The challenges for most undergraduate students has been the curriculum. We changed the difference in the curriculum. Okay, so to get into university in Canada, all you need is to have a high school diploma. You don't need to do JAM, you don't need to do any other exams. Okay.
That is the equivalent of your West African
or
your NECO
West African school certificate.
or NECO.
Or NECO. So the Canadian high school diploma and high school curriculum in Canada, it has been confirmed to be the top 5 in the world. Okay, to PISA study, they studied it and we said it's in the top 5 in the world. So it's a very, very high standard of education. So when you get Nigerian students going to university with their right results, some of them do have issues coping because of the curriculum difference. Especially in the sciences, even in English, writing skills, plagiarism is something they never heard of. And so they struggle with that in the first year. But for those of them who are very hardworking and they face those challenges, it might mean that they might graduate a year or two after. Maybe a 4-year program might become 5 because of those troubles.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we find that majority of our students actually do well.
Okay.
And if you look, if you check, you find that they're doing great things in Canada. There's always this few that will drop by the wayside. I mean, it's normal. Some people will drop by the wayside. Some people might not end up studying what they want to study. Some people would you change programs. But some people will succeed in what they want to study, get jobs, do well, and have a good life. We've had a lot of our students getting married, having kids, and bringing their parents. So it's been, to me, it's been a success story.
Okay, let me ask you, as the consultant here in Nigeria that navigates their way down to Canada, is there any way you influence their education while they're in school? Maybe a student that is not performing very well, and you need to come in to do one or two things to enable such a student to adjust, improve, and move on. Is there any way you are allowed to do such?
Well, the only way, because once we get admission for a student, get their study permit, and all we go to this college or university in Canada, well, I mean, we are out of the picture.
You're out of the
we
picture.
cannot be in their classroom with them.
Yes, I know.
But
Like a feedback, getting the feedback, sitting down with the school authority to provide solution. Because here in Nigeria, if a student is not even performing alongside with others in the class, is a little bit behind, there is a way the school authority can invite the parents, talk to the parents, and create additional values for such a student to meet up, maybe extra classes. So that's what I'm trying to find out, that you as the navigator to Canada for them to study, do you get feedbacks? If you do, is there any way they pave way for corrections for the students to adjust and move on rather than falling out or falling by the wayside?
okay, let me start from what we were able to do here in Nigeria before the students cross over. Okay. We set up a college here called Maple Canadian College.
Okay, yeah, in Nigeria.
In Lagos, in Lekki. And the reason was because we saw how some Nigerian students struggle through university because of the gap in the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And so we set up this college for students who already have WAEC to come into grade 12, which is the last year of high school. I'm happy you were there during our opening ceremony. So they come in and take 10 months of the program to cover the gap in the curriculum. Let's say you want to study computer science or engineering. Functions 12, which is maths. You're doing calculus and vectors, which is further maths, physics, chemistry, depending on the branch of engineering, biology, English. Those are common subjects. So at the time they finish this program, they are ready to go to any university all over the world, including the UK without scholarship. US, without A level. You can go to UK without A level if you have the Canadian High School diploma. What we teach here is the Ontario Ministry of Education curriculum. So our students get the OSSD, which is Ontario Secondary School. So we've been able to, as much as we can, assist students who are going to university to cover that gap in curriculum, so that when they get there, they will not struggle as much. But they still need to work hard. And for those who go without covering that gap, because some parents will tell me, no, I don't want my child to do great job. We advise them right here. And look at your child's results. Yes, he has WAEC, but he has C6 in chemistry, C6 in physics, F9 in calculus. I don't think university will be a good place to start, because it can be very, very rigorous. You should start from the college. Okay. Start from your college, do a 2-year diploma, and then move on to university for 2 more years and get your degree. Okay. During this period, the child will be having a soft landing, has more time to cover that curriculum gap in an easier way, and hopefully end up with a degree. And for those of our students who are already, there's a limit that there's not much we can do for those who are already in a university in Canada. We can only advise them before they leave. Make sure that you take a program that you can cope with. Make sure that you look at your academic ability before you choose a program. You might have the admission requirement. I've had cases of students I see here right. I say, yeah, you have the admission requirement for engineering, but I can tell that you're not very strong. Yes, your
From
results,
here discussion.
yes, your results are not, yeah, engineering in Canada, you need at least 85% average, 6 subjects, in some cases 5. Yeah, you have the some universities will not even take below B3, your basic subjects. And then this person is insisting on the master of engineering. I can get you to a university that might accept you into first year university but not proper engineering course. And I can tell you from what I'm seeing that you're not going to go. So let's do something else. Let's do something more practical, more hands-on. Usually in the colleges, that's what they do.
So from the word go, you give this advice
Yes.
and encourage them,
Yes.
so that they don't find themselves wandering around.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the admission counseling that we give for free.
Okay.
We direct the students to take the curriculum. And also, one thing is to remember that in life, you have to think about your career. What do you want to study? Can I get a job at the end of the day? Am I not going to study something that when I get to Canada, when I finish, I'm not going to get a job? What's the point? Maybe I'm going into a society where you might not even come back to Nigeria.
Even the Canadian government, do they promote courses like that are so irrelevant to the environment?
Right now, they are very particular about some courses. We can see that. Like, remember I told you that government policies affect what we do. So a country like Canada might say, these are the people that we're looking for. People in the health sector. We want plumbers. We want carpenters. Can you imagine?
What we call entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Skill acquisition
Yes.
here in
Skill
Nigeria.
acquisition. Trades. They call it trades.
Okay.
We're looking for trades people. People that will come here, study, and get jobs just like that. Because we lack trades people. But most Nigerian students and parents don't look at trades as anything. How can I send my child to Canada to go and look at them?
What are the areas of priority?
Trades.
No, I mean Nigerian parents.
Engineering, computer science. Most graduate students now are looking at business studies. They have maybe a degree in business admin or communication, and they're looking at going to business management. IT is also very important in Canada right now. So IT is very important. So
What about the health sector?
now health sector, even something like a personal support worker, all over the world they're always looking for nurses and personal support workers. So when you tell students, why don't you look at a program that is viable? You use the word viable. Now you're going to foreign land, right? What about that means for you to be able to finish, get a job and maybe settle down? Because the reason why most of you are going is not only to have the certificate, but also to be able to get a job and live at the end of the day and live a good life. So we have to advise students based on what the Canadian government is looking for, kind of students.
Okay. Now, madam, let me ask you again. With your wealth of experience with this Canadian education business, I want you to look at what exactly are we not doing right with our education system in Nigeria as compared to what you've seen or what you've known at this level of your Canadian education. Let's even say globally. What is it that we are not doing right?
Well, fortunately for me, I studied in 3 different countries.
Okay.
Nigeria, where I was born, I had primary school education, high school education, and then A-level.
Your A-level where?
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria, okay. Before you proceeded to the UK.
So I went with on scholarship.
Okay.
So I experienced UK education as well. And then came back to Nigeria after studying. And then finally migrated to Canada.
Okay.
So
Did you also study in Canada?
yes,
Okay.
when you go as an immigrant, you want to fit in. So you think about what can I do here that will make me get a job. So I did some computer courses. Computer, I studied food technology in England. Computer is not my background. When I went to college in England, we didn't have computers there. So I had to study, I did A plus, which is computer repairs and maintenance technician.
Okay, in Canada.
Yes, I did all that. And then my immigration consultancy is a postgraduate diploma in Canada. So I had to get certified to be able to practice.
Now back to
then-
my question.
Yeah, I'm going to get there.
Okay.
So having experienced education across 3 different countries. Now let me come back to Nigeria. So what's the problem that we are having here? Why is it that Nigerian parents, especially at post-secondary level, remember I said primary school is good, secondary school, we are still happy with secondary school.
Mhm.
Then when we get to university,
Tertiary.
then you pause and
Okay.
say, oh, no, I want my child to go abroad because you want good quality education. You want international exposure as well. The difference is education in Canada is very practical. So it's students take ownership of their learning. It's not just come into class, take notes, and go away. Then at the end of the day, you write the exam, you pass, and you get yourself.
Practical involves
Yes. Practically, there are equipments.
Okay.
Yes.
Teaching and learning
Yes,
materials.
yes. Teaching and learning materials are there. The lecturers too understand that they are also appraised at the end of the year. Your students will determine whether you are coming back or not. Okay, there's appraisal. And they are beginning to do that in Nigeria too. The appraisal is there. Is this person a good teacher? Did I understand what he was teaching? Did he cover the curriculum? Was he coming to class?
So the student does the appraisal there.
Yes. So it's very important because you as a lecturer or a professor or an instructor, you know that if you don't do your job well, you might not come back after that semester. So everything is available when you're doing practical in sciences. The equipment are there. The examples, the way they ask questions, it's not theoretical. You have to think about the solution of the problem. You don't cram something and say, what is Archimedes principle? You just say Archimedes principle is this. You know, one of our students here in Liverpool Canadian College in maths, at the end of the program, he came to me and said, you know what, I did not realize that maths is to solve problems of the world. I just thought it was just formulas, once you know the formula. But now I know that maths is to solve problems. It's not theoretical. So questions are not always direct. It's applications of principles. That's what I learned in A-level. Application of principles, and students are their marks are like all through the year. We're having the marks. The final exam is not the beginning and end of. It's just about 30% of the final result.
So the practical aspect, the teaching and learning material is what we are missing out
We
here.
are missing that. We are missing that. Education can be fun. But I remember when I was doing my computer program in Canada, I really enjoyed it because it was practical, it was fun. You could sit down and teach yourself because of the way the instructions are. You could follow the instructions, teach yourself, understand, and if you don't understand, the teacher is always there to help you. Your teachers are available to support you.
So that is the main difference.
And then with our education, it's not theoretical, it's practical, it's exponential, it's interesting, and you are made to be involved. Because they give you a lot of assignments. There's no time to fool around when you're in school. The assignments, we give you your marks. From January to June 2023, The Canadian government processed more than 43,000 study permit applications for Nigerian students, exceeding the totals for 2017, 2018, and 2019 put together. So you can see that increase. And out of the 43,000 applications, nearly 18,000 Canadian study permits were issued to Nigerians across the first 6 months, 2023, more than for any other country of origin but India. So that tells you that Nigerians are leading the pack in the number of international students that are studying in Canada today.
Let's go further. Probably my last question. If you have the opportunity of sitting down with the Honorable Minister for Education, just a 5-minute opportunity, what are you going to tell me?
Well, I think I'll start with infrastructure. I didn't mention infrastructure when I was talking about what is the difference. You see, you go to universities, you go to schools, infrastructure is conducive for learning. You know, the buildings, the environment, the curriculum, everything makes learning interesting. Teacher training, making sure that the teachers are up to standard in delivering lectures. It's very, very important. So if I were to do something here, I think the first thing I'll do is to make sure that I'll start with infrastructure. Very important. I'll start with hiring the right teachers, training them, and ensuring that they do their job. I will also look at curriculum development because the curriculum cannot remain static. Things are changing in the world. You can't keep teaching the same thing year in, year out without incorporating solving problems that we are facing in the world. So that's where we are different. Nigeria, I don't know. Sometimes when people want me to talk about Nigerian education, sometimes I find it difficult because I'm more used to Canadian curriculum in education. And things are always changing. It's never static. So when new things happen, we think of how do we solve this problem? The industries are going to the universities to get solutions, to do research. Like, we're having this problem in our company, in our manufacturing company, and we need to solve it. Can you please help us get people to
You and I relationship.
Yeah, research and development. Can you get some students together to solve this problem? We need $2 million.
Wow. They even encourage them with money.
Yes, they fund research. So professor now goes around, hires students, internationals, not hiring, recruit international students, local students. I think this is a problem that we need to solve. Goes and start doing the research.
And they
will find they will solve it. So education is not just acquiring a certificate, it's solving problems.
I think at this beautiful junction, I want to agree with you that education is not just about certificates, it is about providing solutions to our immediate problems and even beyond. Thank you so much, Mrs. Obaro. It's my pleasure having you this afternoon, and I feel honored to have you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.